We would like to welcome you all to 1 Million Cups. 1 Million Cups is part of the Kauffman Foundation out of Kansas City. There are 1 million cups meeting all over the country today. They meet every Wednesday morning. It's kind of the same format, a little connecting, networking, coffee. There's a presentation and then some more networking and coffee. And you can be out the door by 9:30 and be at your desk when you need to be there. We would like to thank our sponsors. Of course, the Kauffman Foundation out of Kansas City. Lincoln Partnership for Economic Development. Is Abby here today? She is not. Okay. Baird Home. And they furnished the donuts. So let's give them a thank you for that. Woo! Don't Panic Labs for this awesome space. Escape Lincoln, Fuse Co-working, and Turbine Flats. If you attend 1 Million Cups, you can work free of charge at either Fuse, which is down the Haymarket, or Turbine Flats, which is over here on Y Street. You can work free today. Merle Lynch, and I guess that's all our sponsors. What?
Can we give a shout out to Gordon and his business for being part of our recording and live stream book?
Yes, let's do that. Gordon, let's give him a big hand. Gordon has been recording these. They're not live streamed, so don't think you can just roll out of bed and come to 1 Million Cups in your pajamas. But we do have a YouTube channel, and our presentation should be up here within the next day or two on that YouTube channel. So thank you, Gordon. These are the organizers. Ann McClure with Escape Lincoln, Abby Bartholomew with Lincoln Partnership for Economic Development. Dane,
We have a new volunteer too.
who's not up here yet.
Yep.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Dave Burgess with Union Bank. I work in the small business department.
Dane Patton with Bats and Rats. Dow, our fearless leader, is not here today. She is visiting 1 Million Cups Omaha today. Lindsay with Don't Panic Labs, Sarah with Nebraska Wesleyan, and myself with Strat DM. Be sure to check in. You can check in here. There's barcodes on the table, one back there. But we like to know that you were here. That gets you on our list. You'll get basically one email every week letting you know what the upcoming 1 Million Cups is going to be all about. Afterwards, we have office hours. Experts in certain subjects are here to chat with you. Baird Home will be happy to answer any legal questions they can legally do without charging you a quarter. And
Just so everybody knows, hi, I'm Carrie with Baird Home. So if you want to talk anything legal, you can find me afterwards.
Okay, is Quentin here? Okay, Quentin's our expert on working with the government. So if you want to do business with the government, Quentin's the guy to. Scott Henderson just showed up, so we can get started now.
Let's go!
Woo! And is anybody else doing? And I'd be happy to talk with you about strategic planning, mission, vision, values after the meeting. Please silence your phones. We have two. You're lucky. We've been doing two presenters every week. It seems like Lincoln is so active, startups are coming on faster than we can put them up here and present to you. If you think you should be up here presenting or know somebody that should, let us know and we'll get you into the queue there. Okay, our first presenter today is Kelly Van Eert. She's with Unpower Independence Company. I have no idea what that is, but when she gets done, we'll all know what it is. Let's give her a big 1 Million Cups welcome. Woo!
Good morning, everyone. Again, I'm Kelly, but you can think of me as your shower angel. I keep people safe, independent, and confident when they are wet, naked, and vulnerable. So first, I'd like to tell you about one of my patients, Jim. Jim was an active member of a veterans facility where he lived independently. I received orders to complete a shower evaluation on Jim, who had stopped showering, which led to an infection that required hospitalization. I met with Jim and shared that I was there to complete a shower evaluation. Jim said, "Oh, Kelly, I can shower just fine. I don't need you." And I said, "Jim, that's great, but unfortunately for the doctor to clear you to return home, I need you to show me that you can safely shower. I'm happy to make recommendations or assist as needed." Jim continued to refuse. So after some further discussion, he told me why. Jim shared that his older, stronger brother had recently fallen in the shower, hit his head, suffered a subdural hematoma, and died. Jim said, "I can't shower anymore. If he fell, I will fall too." Now, this might sound like an extreme circumstance, but the reality is 1 in 4 adults over the age of 65 fall every single year, and 61 million Americans currently struggle with basic self-cares like showering. Americans spend over $90 billion each year on safety provisions to assist these populations. As an occupational therapist, I've completed over 1,000 shower evaluations. My patient feedback and customer discovery highlight 3 main concerns: a slick environment, that includes free bath products and handheld shower head; inaccessibility, items must be placed on the ground, on a small ledge, into a tiny hook; fatigue, the energy required to access these items is too much. After years of searching for solutions for my patients and coming up short, I invented my own. Showerability is the solution. As you can see, our shower system includes a large steel board that can be added anywhere to your existing shower wall. Whether seated or standing, the board is installed within reach. We then have our own magnetic grip products that interface with the board, including our own easy squeeze, easy push bottles, a magnetic wrap that goes around all of your existing shower products, as well as a magnetic gripped hook that coordinates with your current handheld shower head. Increasing accessibility, improving grasp, conserving energy, which reduces fall risks and empowers our users to focus on what truly matters. Now, I created this for my patients in their homes. We know it's really hard to do direct to consumer right off the bat. I also know as an occupational therapist from studies that 70% of our population that we're serving, which is seniors and individuals with physical limitations, are 70% more likely to use adaptive equipment like ours if they've been educated on it. So we are actually targeting acute rehab and skilled rehab facilities who cater to the nearly 13 million adults who go through their programming every year due to falls and injuries, illnesses, to actually train our patients in the product line in the facility. The patient then knows how to use it, and they can take it home and purchase existing products for home use. Whoops. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so talking about skilled nursing and acute rehab facilities, as well as the 60 million Americans who are currently struggling, we're looking at a huge market. We're cutting that down to the Midwest. Right now, we're just focusing on where we currently have our leg in the door with facilities and contacts. So 17 million just based on our 5-year plan. So we have our first patent was granted in 2024. We have another pending patent around the system as we've been refining it. We now have $6,000 in pre-sale deposits with skilled facilities in the Nebraska area. We've done trials this fall with QLI Rehab, which is nationally ranked one of the best rehab facilities in the country. This fall, we're currently refining that system and working on getting pilot partners. We've also been able to capture a lot of non-dilutive funding, which has been wonderful. So a lot of people ask, like, what else is out there? There has to be things that are similar to this. So from being an OT who recommends products like this for a living to help people stay safe and independent, I would tell you that there's a lot of ad hoc solutions. So you've seen the little magnetic hooks that people can reach into, the poles that they can use to put their handheld shower head on. There's some different shelving. There's that super glued things to the actual wall that are permanent and you can't move them, little shelving options. We've created a holistic system that hits the top 3 issues that people have to ensure that they can use it forever, no matter if they're able to stand in the shower, if they have to progress to sitting. We're hitting people where they're at and helping them age in place. So our renew model is simple. It's $1,000 for the whole system. You can purchase the board for like a facility use or accessory packs for facility reuse and home use. So the expert team includes me right now and my mentors and the programming that I've really leaned into here in Nebraska, including programs like NMotion, partnerships with people like QLI and Methodist, programming like Pipeline, New Tech Ventures, and Catalyst to really help me grow and lead a base so that we know where our next hire is. So today I would just ask for any connections to skilled rehab nursing facilities, acute rehab, and skilled living communities. That's who we're looking to do pilots with this fall for our final MVP product. And we'd love any intros to people in those fields that might be interested in learning more about products that were intended to help their patients and their residents to live safer and more independently. Thank you for your time. Again, I'm Kelly, and I'd love to talk to you afterwards. Is there Q&A right now? Is that accurate? Yes? Okay. Yes.
I think it's a great idea that you're going to market your product to rehab and nursing home. My question is that it seems that your product requires the existing shower bar installed already to be able to use your product.
It doesn't. So we're actually, the design that you see is a prior design. We're just, while we're working through things, we don't have the final design. So there's different options for if you have an existing grab bar, that it can be installed with it. And if you don't, we actually have our own grab bar that can be installed with the board. So there's different options depending on what the needs are. Other questions? Yes.
The first question I have for you is for the single unit, it's cost $1,000. It sounds a little bit expensive for seniors. A lot of seniors, they are running out of cash and they really need help, but the price is a little bit high for, I don't know how much you spend to make 1 unit, but the price is a little bit high for seniors. Plus to that, you are focusing on facilities, but a lot of seniors, they prefer to stay in their house these days. They don't want to go to nursing home or rehab. They want to stay in their comfort zone in their house. So if you can focus on individual like senior communities where they can gather, any place like that, helpful more.
Sure. So I'm gonna make sure I answer both questions. So yes, the $1,000 for the shower system, we actually haven't had any pushback on that. So the cost of a fall for an individual is actually tens of thousands of dollars, as well as most of the products today, if you're ad hocing these solutions to fit what we're doing, ends up being several $100s. And so by integrating our system, which is one integration, and it hits everything, the price actually hasn't had pushback at all comparatively. Individuals are able to use their HSA funds to purchase it, which is a huge perk for them. And then the reason that we're targeting the rehab facilities is because there's a lot of people that just go through those acute rehab as part of getting an ortho replacement, so hip or knee replacement, those type of things. They're educated on products like ours as they go through that. Those are the people that are most interested in products like ours, and that's our first end. So we are definitely, I want to get it to people who are aging in their homes. That's who I created it for. But we have to have a point of entry, and that's our point of entry right now. But definitely expanding and want to get it to people who just want to stay home as well.
Just follow up on
Yeah.
that. So it will cover by Medicaid? The Medicaid will cover for
No, adaptive equipment is not covered by Medicare. Okay. Yes.
You mentioned the $6,000 that you secured in pre-orders. Can you quickly speak to your process of how you pursued securing those pre-orders, when, yeah?
Yes. So those actually have come organically. I'm not pursuing pre-sales right now. We are getting ready to do demos in facilities, but those have come from connections actually in Omaha too. It's a new build facility in Omaha, Nebraska, just talking to their actual CEO and then doing presentations and people wanting to buy it individually for parents are who we've secured pre-sales through. So those have been organic just through talking to people that kind of see the need right away. But we are pursuing demos this summer, which will be where we're gathering more pre-sales and LOIs. Thank you.
Got time for two more questions.
Yeah.
Not a question, just let's connect. I'm connected to a fairly large in-home facility, so I'm really curious how this would work with us.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you, definitely. Yes.
How involved is the install board?
So actually installing, like how difficult it is to install, or?
Like, do you need a contractor to do it, or how does that work?
Sure, so we have 2 designs right now that we're testing this summer. The first design installs simply like your typical grab bar. So you would have a handyman or a son-in-law or somebody that would come in and do the install directly into the stud, so it's secure. The second option actually secures onto your existing grab bar. So pretty standard when people are redoing things in their home to have a professional come in and ensure that it's installed correctly. But
Okay, and Kelly will stick around and
Yes.
you can talk with her one-on-one. And you already covered this, but we always like to ask it, the last question that we always ask, would you like to invest some money in 1 million cup? No. No. What can we as a community
yes.
do for you?
Just connections to skilled facilities, home care, rehab, or if you have, family that's interested, any connections to people that need it would be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we asked, right afterwards, we'd like to get a picture with you and the no, at the very end. Yes. Okay, our second presenter, Christina Oldfather. Christina, if you don't know, used to hold the position that Abby Bartholomew now holds at Lincoln Partnership for Economic Development. And then did Kathy replace you?
Yes.
And then Kathy replaced her, and then Abby replaced Kathy. And Christina also used to be an organizer for 1 Million Cups. So she's very, very familiar. But she's going to talk to us today about Gap Year, which is a program at the Bay. And if you're not familiar with the Bay, in my opinion, it's one of the most awesome nonprofit programs in Lincoln. A lot of people say, oh, is that skating art program for the poor kids or the at-risk kids? No, it's for all school kids. It's a great after-school program. They do art, music, skating, and all kinds of. So I'll let Chris take over from there and give her a big 1 Million Cups welcome. Woo!
Thank you, Vaughn. And I just realized I didn't actually connect, so let me do that first. I was too busy listening to Vaughn. Okay, so it's also not popping up for me.
Let me see if down here anything got unplugged. Yep. That's why. There you go.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, that looks better. Oh, and here's the clicker. Okay. Well, as Vaughn said, I'm Christina, and I'm really excited to be back here at 1 Million Cups today. It's been a minute since I've been here, but definitely love this community, and it's just such a great place for people to be able to get up and share their ideas and get support and feedback from the community. I will always remember that we started 1 Million Cups in Lincoln, like solely in Lincoln, because it used to be split between Lincoln and Omaha, like almost 11 years ago, because a group of us met in Crescent Moon, and I brought my daughter and her little carrier down into Crescent Moon, and she's about to turn 11, so that doesn't even seem possible, but here we are, 11 years later. I know Vaughn mentioned a little bit about the Bay. How many people are familiar with the Bay and what we do? Awesome. So for those of you that don't, we are a youth development organization. We serve youth ages 4 to 24 through out-of-school programming, summer camps. We have a Bay High Focus program within our building, so it's a partnership with LPS. We serve juniors and seniors, and they focus on business marketing, management, and infotech, and really dive into entrepreneurship and digital storytelling. Then the post-high school part of our programs, those 18 to 24-year-olds, that's where we serve those students through Gap Year. So this is a program that we started in 2022, which oddly also aligns with my son, so I can always remember dates, for now anyway. So 2022, we launched this program, and throughout time with the Bay, everything's really been designed by listening to our youth and what they need and what they're asking for. And Mike Smith, who you may also be familiar with as the founder of the Bay, had a youth come to him and say, you know, I did all of the things and now what? And that was kind of the impetus for starting this post-high school career and skill accelerator, really designed for 18 to 24-year-olds. Ultimately, at the end of their time with us, we want them to be doing one of three things. We want them to either be ready for a career, they know what they want to do and they can just jump right into it, or they figured out that the thing they want to do does really require them to go get a degree of some sort, so they are enrolled in college, or they have this business idea and they've launched a business idea and have engaged in an entrepreneurial journey. I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, so just to talk a little bit about, you know, the bigger picture of the problem that we're solving, I think we see a lot of, with Gen Z, their career and college readiness is maybe not where we want it to be or where they want it to be. The college continuation rate is declining. It's dropped from about 70% 10 years ago to somewhere around 60%. Which is just going directly from high school to college. That leads to a lot of changing majors, incurring more debt, taking extra credits that you don't need. And I will say, I think that Gen X and millennials have successfully scared Gen Z off from taking on college debt, and they don't really want to do that. And you know, who can blame them? You get that degree, you're paying on debt for a really long time, maybe even the rest of your career, and oftentimes you don't necessarily have needed to take that path. So they're questioning it. They're not automatically thinking, I have to go to college. And if you look at completion rates for college, I think it's about 40% on average completion for community college and about 60% for a 4-year institution. So you see them going, they're starting, but there's a good percentage of students that are not completing. A recent poll from Gallup says about only 25% of young people feel prepared for a career, and about 60% identify with wanting to start a business, but really only about 20% feel like they have the skills and the right preparation in order to do that. So that is where our Gap Year program comes in. So it's a career and skill accelerator designed to help 18 to 24-year-olds achieve post-high school success. As I mentioned, we look at that through entrepreneurship, college enrollment, or embarking on a career. The program itself is 5 phases, so there's an exploration phase. In that phase, we take them out, and one of the things we always go back to as the Bay is we want to show young people what's possible. So that's what we do during that phase. We take them out, they get to visit businesses, they get to do hands-on things so they actually understand what a day in the life looks like in that industry or in that job. They get to talk to industry professionals and really see that, in fact, you can do a lot of different things. One of my favorite examples is if we take students to Union Bank, you don't have to be a banker. You can actually be a creative and do storytelling. And you don't have to think that's only like a financial opportunity there. So just showing them here in Lincoln and across industries that there's a lot of different things that you can do. So from there, once we've shown them those things, we do a course called Design Your Future. So we teach them design thinking skills, and then they use those skills to come up with a life plan. So they actually have to develop a minimum viable product for 3 different lives that they want to live, and they have to figure out how they're going to test those MVPs. So they have to go talk to people. They have to find ways of figuring out, is this actually the thing I want to do, and testing it out in real life. At the end of that course, they move on to the technical skill building phase. So through that Design Your Future process, they've figured out what they want to do, and then they get the technical skills to do that. We have a variety of pathways. We focus a lot on creative pathways, so photo, video, graphic design, fashion, entrepreneurship, and music. And then we work with a lot of great community partners, such as Don't Panic Labs is one. We sent a couple of students over here last summer for software engineering. We work with Nebraska Innovation Studio on robotics and fashion, actually. And so in order to expand those offerings, we've engaged a lot of community partners that teach some of those technical skills. After they learn the technical skills, they do a capstone so they can really showcase what they now know how to do. They receive industry mentorship, and then at the very final phase, they get to do a paid internship. So we partner with the American Job Center here in Lincoln. Students get paid through the American Job Center, and then we get to place them at a variety of community partners where they get hands-on experience, real experience they can put on their resume. They get paid to do it, and the business doesn't have to figure out how they're going to pay them. So here's a little bit more on our pathways. So we have, as I mentioned, a lot of the creative pathways. We also partner with Google. Every student that comes through our program also gets the AI certification, knowing how important that is into whatever career they're going to embark on. It's definitely going to become a part of their daily lives. So they're all doing that. We also work with the Lincoln Manufacturing Council, as I mentioned, Don't Panic Labs, the Hub Cafe, and Innovation Studio, to give our students a variety of opportunities to build those technical skills and gain some of those industry mentors. Throughout the whole time as well, they receive one-to-one coaching from our team. I don't know if anybody remembers what it was like to be 18 to 24 years old. It's a time, And having somebody there that can help you set your goals, stay on track, weigh your options with you is really powerful. And so we have them connected with someone on our team throughout their entire journey at Gap Year. So those 5 phases I talked about are about 8 months. And then throughout that entire thing, we have them working on what we call our Future Ready track. So this is the core skills identified by the World Economic Forum and things that we're hearing consistently from employers that are going to be critical in the age of AI, these human skills, but also the things that they see oftentimes Gen Z or young employees are come in lacking. So it's analytical thinking, creative thinking. Obviously, I don't need to read all of these off to you, but it is really about what are the human skills that you can bring and the ability to learn and problem solve and be strategic so that you have the ability to grow and pivot and ensure that whatever path you're on, you have those tools to continue to be successful. So we work on those with them, build that muscle throughout the entire time in the program. Our outcomes, as I mentioned, we've ran this program starting in 2022. In our last cohort, we had 44% of the cohort actually enrolled in higher education at the end of the program. 28 were into full-time employment, and 28% engaged in started a business. And so we always like to talk about at the Bay, not just the KPIs, but also the SMIs, so significant moments of impact. And so wanted to showcase a few of our students here and some of the cool things that they're doing post-program. Also took some screenshots of their Instagram, so if you want to go follow them and check them out, you can. So this first one, Max Stamina, is Jack McCown. He actually launched a music photography business while he was in gap year, and he's photographed a ton of different artists. He's done video for the Discovery Channel, really took his time in our program to expand his connections and launch something really cool. Next up is Kate Sullivan, this Ether Reality. She's one of our fashion students, actually just had her first runway recently. And then finally, we have Peyton. He launched his DJ career, actually moved to Chicago, was able to leverage his connections he made in gap year to also land a job in Chicago while he was building up his DJ business. And obviously we want him to move back someday, but he's living his best life in Chicago right now. Okay, so community ask, since I know you'll ask that, Vaughn, there you go. We are looking to connect with additional students, additional partners, and mentors in some of the pathways that I've talked about, and definitely open to additional pathways. I think one thing I didn't mention, and I think was in some of the information, and I should know this as a previous organizer, like what are some of the barriers you're experiencing? I think for us, we start the program in the fall, and it's about 8 months, and so we've realized that the entry point is difficult. You know, it's kind of a long cycle, so we're looking at ways that we can at least provide a couple of entry points for youth during the year. We're also looking at ways that we can accelerate the program even more, and also with that piece on college readiness, have a piece of the program that focuses specifically on college preparation, college readiness, and college enrollment. So we're still testing things. We're still working on things. Happy to have any conversations on feedback or ideas or any of these community asks. So that's all I've got. I'm happy to take some questions.
Is there a cost associated for this with students?
Yes, so there is a cost. We have, that's another thing we've been testing out is how do we, as a nonprofit, stay sustainable while also being accessible. It costs us about $5,000 per student to offer this program. We do have access to different funding and scholarships, so it's a little bit of a mix of those things, but we also ask students to pay, especially if they can. So we have charged $4,000 this last cohort, also have a variety of scholarships and funding resources available. For this next cohort, we're looking at accessing some different programs where students can actually get their program fee paid through a variety of sources, but it's still a work in progress.
But I wonder if you could set it up to where if they start making money, that you just take a percentage of them, or set it up somehow like that. Because I think that would kind of also prepare them for being business owners as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. And we have thought where when they get into the internship portion of the program and they are getting paid, that might be the better time to do it. But it's a challenge, especially at that age. It's even if somebody has a job one week, they might not the next week. So if we're asking people in that demographic to be our customers, they're a challenging market. Did you have a?
So I saw that it says 18 to 24. Is that like your cutoff time? Could they be 24 to join the program, or it's just
Yeah.
24 they can?
Nope, they can be 24. So really the 18 to 24 range is based on state and federal workforce programs. That's kind of their cutoff. So to access the internship piece and some of that, that's key. They can come in at 24, and as long as they get enrolled at 24, they can stay in and finish the program. Yes.
I think he was first,
Oh,
but I'll
okay.
second. I just want to know the number of the cohort. How many individuals are per cohort?
We target about 25, 20 to 25.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hopefully I can figure this out online, but like, have you guys thought about doing like a platform or like pre-onboarding, like allow people to access some of this learning development before the 18 to 24, like kind of as like an on-ramp for like exposing parents, letting them see it, letting their kids get involved in some of this stuff. Basically a platform or a way to like kind of early onboard.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it in that lens exactly, but we are in progress of building it out on a learning management system that would allow for that. And we do have juniors and somewhat captive juniors and seniors in our building. So that's a great idea. Thank you. Yes.
I don't know if you already connected with the Lincoln Youth Mentoring Coalition.
Yes, I'm pretty sure someone on my team has, but I'll make a note of that to double check.
So there's an organization called Teammates.
Yes, yep. Yeah, they're mostly in school and we're out of school. There's always, of course, some challenges associated with like where we have a focused program within our school. It's Lincoln Public Schools, and they have their own sets of rules, and rightfully so, because they don't want just people marching into the building at any time, and so there's some of those things, but yes.
We have time for one more question? Two more.
Okay.
One, so you seem to be focusing on the 4-year schooling, but have you thought about focusing on community college 2-year program?
Yes.
There'd be lots of stuff to go.
Absolutely, yes. So we actually are, the Bay is building a new building in Omaha, in the Benson community, and we're partnering with Metro Community College up there to be our technical learning pathway, so that we're pushing students directly into that. And then also, when we're thinking about the college and career readiness, one of our focuses is on students that come out of the Lincoln Public School system that receive the Learn to Dream scholarship that pays for them to go to SCC, so to really help them prepare. So absolutely, yep, that's on our radar.
Did somebody else have one more?
I think it was Carlos.
So I listened to a program on NPR. It was very interesting because these were people in prison that had taught themselves how to write programs, and now they were earning 6-figure incomes from prison. Is that something you guys have saw? Like if you teach, let's say, graphic design to somebody who's in prison, they're probably perfect students, they don't have much else to do. They can generate an income while they're in prison, and they are employable when they get out.
Yeah, we have looked at least from like the juvenile justice perspective, because we are serving that target audience of young people. I think there's some opportunity there for sure, but we probably aren't really equipped, I think, at this point to work with people that are currently incarcerated. But to that point of people kind of teaching themselves, there are a lot of opportunities with some of these community partners that we're working with. Google is one of them, that they have kind of entryways where if you are, you just have experience like building hardware at home, they will absolutely consider you. Or even on the facility side, we started, they were starting to kind of launch this idea that if somebody had like those future ready skills, they would bring them in and teach them all the technical skills on the facility side. And so we sent a couple of students their way. Definitely pathways that don't have to include those 2 or 4 year degrees, but those are obviously all on the table.
Thank you, Christina. And the last. What can we as a community do for you? And there's your answer.
Yes, students, partners, mentors, connections, conversation.
And we would like a picture
All right.
just right after. Let's give her a big hand. Woo! If any of you think you should be up here, let one of the organizers know, or know somebody that should. Upcoming events.
1 week from today, so I'm going to be saying this next week as well, but we have NW Pitch, where 5 student teams from Nebraska Wesleyan are going to be competing for prize money, connections, and more for their businesses that they have started up this semester. We're going to be on Wesleyan campus from 5 to 7 p.m. If you go to any of our Wesleyan Innovation Entrepreneurship pages or social channels, we'll have registration links up there, and we'd love to have as many community members as possible.
So if you were here last week, you got kind of a taste of what this is going to be like. So those are some interesting concepts. Bill Udell just showed up. So he's the guy that provides us this awesome space here. Thank you, Bill. And Lindsay, Bill. Thank you, Bill and Lindsay. Tomorrow morning, open coffee, Crescent Moon down in the Bay, where Christina helped get 1 million cups started. Down in the basement at 8th and P Street. That goes from 8 to 9:30ish or whatever. If you want something a little stronger, Friday afternoon, Boiler Brewing Company in the basement of the old Federal Building, and that starts at 4. Somebody told me there's information still out there that says 5:30. So if anybody's in charge of that, I don't know where it is, Facebook, LinkedIn, something, but it's at 4 to 6-ish for cocktails. Both open coffee and Founders Friday, there's no agenda, no program, just to get together with your fellow entrepreneurs, startup enterprisers, and talk about stuff. Any other upcoming events that Scott has something? He's always got something going on.
First off, last week was a busy week. We had a lot of events. So we had the IO Summit, we had Lab Launch, we had a New Venture Challenge. If you were someone who presented, who pitched, stand up. I know you're in the room. You went to Lab Launch, stand up. You pitched New Venture Challenge. Lifeblood. It's good to have the new faces here, but also just great stirring the pot like that. So anyway, Scott Henderson, Managing Principal, N-Motion, powered by Generator. Three things, that's three. Two. One, next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, we're having the Omaha B2G, so Business to Government Guild. It's a new gathering, new monthly gathering for folks who are in the defense tech startup space as well as the Offutt Air Force Base, trying to get mixed and mingled within that world. We had a really great first successful meeting. Now we're going to have a second one on Tuesday. And then, I don't know if you know this or not, but the N-Motion Accelerator Fall 2026 cohort. Application's open right now, so we're looking for the next 6 $100,000 investments to make. And I would love to have a strong Lincoln cadre. I mean, Kelly represents well and had a great cohort there, so we're looking for the next big cohort. So if you're interested in it, we have applications open at NMotion, like nonstopmotion.co. And if you want to talk more about it, I'm happy to do like an office hour with you. So anyways, thanks, Fawn. I just appreciate how much you prepare for all the biographies of the people you introduced there. And, and Lindsay, thanks for letting Bill in and giving your credit.
Thank you, Scott. Anything else coming up that you think we all need to be aware of? Okay, I got some bad news. I'm not going to be here the next 2 weeks, so you can clap. No, I'm going to be in Scotland for 2 weeks. But I will be back, so come out next week, bring your friends, enjoy some more coffee, and have a good rest of your week.